All right, this is going to be a film study of Chig Okonkwo, the rookie tight end for the Titans, University of Maryland product. A lot of Ravens fans wanted to draft him, just finished a productive season for the Titans. His usage is interesting. He only had 32 catches for 450 yards, so there will be some who only look at stats and say, Coach, how can you say he had much impact? Only 3 touchdowns. He did have 14 yards per reception. Again, 32 catches, 46 targets, so about a 70% catch rate. Did have 3 rushes. He played a pretty good game, if you ask me, against the Jaguars Saturday night. I was blessed enough to have some free time and be able to cover and watch that one. So I'm going to bring you guys about 6 plays from that game, show you the interesting ways that they use him, show you how I think he both proves and disproves that modern football is different than the old game used to be. All right, so his alignment is often going to be in the slot. In this case, this is an RPO early in the game. And in the slot is really no different than being an offset fullback or a fullback. The timing of this play being an RPO allows him to get out into the flats. Got this little like snag concept by the number 1 receiver, who's tightly aligned here. And then it allows Okonkwo to kind of fake block, stutter step, and then go out into the flats. You have a run read here between the quarterback and the running back. So he's reading this DN 41, which is Josh Allen, who played a hell of a game. So Josh Allen's going to run down the line of scrimmage or at an angle to take away Derrick Henry. So that's a keep read for Josh Dobbs. Keeps it. Now he has the option to run out in the flats himself or throw it out here to Okonkwo or throw the snag. Okonkwo is athletic enough to play tight end, to catch the football, get some yards after catch, after contact, and he's physical enough and tough enough to play fullback. Same play, end zone angle. All right, you see Derrick Henry and him are on the same side, quite closely aligned, to be honest with you. If you took both of them, and moved them 3.5 yards back this way, they would be in an offset eye. So Okonkwo, the things he's asked to do are tight end-like and fullback-like. And I think he's an example of smart roster usage. Forgive me that play ends up being off screen. He's an example of smart roster and personnel management because he's a tight end who can play special teams, but he can also step back in there and play fullback. All right, you can see he motioned across. He's an offset fullback now, under center, play action. This is a designed play. The Titans love this route in this part of the field to the left-hand side of the offense. Now, it's the right-hand side of your screen, but you can see that it's the left-hand side of the offense. Here's the left tackle, left guard. Okonkwo is running the wheel. What they have done is they have isolated him against an inside linebacker, Foye. If you're a Ravens fan watching or a Titans fan watching, you should kind of recognize this depending on how long you've been a fan. That looks like Jonnu Smith catching a touchdown on a 3rd and 11 against the Ravens in the 2019 playoffs against Brandon Carr back in the left corner of the end zone. Same route. The only difference is Jonnu Smith was lined up. His feet were up here. The same place Chig Okonkwo was on the first play I showed you. That's why I'm telling you that the tight end slot position and the offset fullback position, those roles can be filled by the same guy, and in college they in fact are. Even though they have more roster freedom, more roster movement, more players available than you do in the NFL with the strict limitations on the roster space. Same play, all 22 angle, great catch. Foye is a fantastic inside linebacker. His strength is intelligence, recognition, toughness, tackling, awareness. His weakness is not coverage. His relative weakness might be coverage, meaning downfield routes like this threaten him. Smart route combination, if you ask me. The number 1 receiver, which is Treylon Burks, is taking the corner with him. So the Titans, I think, knew the coverage they had, and you can see the one-on-one that's developed here. You can't draft a fullback to come do this. You can draft a tight end who can play some fullback and do this. Great catch, corner of the end zone by the pylon. Great throw by Josh Dobbs. I thought he played well for 70, 75% of the game, maybe even 80%. Okonkwo up at the tight end side, up the top side. This is Dobbs motioned out. This is the Superman pass or whatever you want to call it, where Derrick Henry's going to fake it. And, I mean, he's so strong. He's got an NFL D tackle grabbing him. And then Josh Allen. and still able to get the throw off somewhat accurately. It is not called a hold here, I don't think. I think it's called a hold on, I think Cisco, or excuse me, a penalty on Cisco for making contact well before the ball was there. To me, in this game, you saw a lot of evidence that the Titans coaching staff and players trust Chig Okonkwo because of the plays they called, because of the manner in which they used him. I think he's a real talent. As a Ravens fan, I'm glad that we drafted Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kolar. If you had drafted Isaiah Likely and Chig Okonkwo, I'd be okay with that too. I would offer to you, if you're a Ravens fan who doesn't like Patrick Ricard or just thinks it's time to move on from him, the better option is to say, we still need a fullback. We just don't need a fullback only. We don't need a fullback first, tight end second. We need a tight end like Chig Okonkwo who can then step in and play fullback, give you that positional versatility. Think of a guy, so this is somewhat similar. By the way, this ball's underthrown, if you ask me. Maybe intentionally, it could be intentionally underthrown. Watch Okonkwo go around Rayshawn Jenkins, who's a hell of a football player, towards the sideline. So Okonkwo's running this to the outside. So I suspect this might be intentionally underthrown. Were you not trying to underthrow it? You're trying to throw it out here, tough angle to throw it over top of the defender because of the trajectory. A little bit different than throwing it, to the sideline. Rayshawn Jenkins gets a pass defended. I think that ball was either intentionally underthrown or just absolutely underthrown. All right, Chig Okonkwo versus Trayvon Walker. It looks like it's going to be pass pro on play action. It's not. It ends up being a two-man screen. This is what he can offer you. Not in the backfield. He's lined up as a slot tight end, like I said. He offers you enough leverage to be able to hold Trayvon Walker off for a moment. Trayvon Walker's a beast. He played great in the last quarter and a half of this game, which was essentially a playoff game. For real, it was a winner-take-all. And then gets it out here for an 11-yard gain. Athletic, good ability to run after the catch, set up his blocks downfield. I would compare him in some ways I would compare this position, the tight end / fullback, to your little scat backs that used to play tailback and some slot receiver. In college, think Tavon Austin. Positional versatility. A guy who lines up and you don't know if he is a tight end or he is a fullback. This is taking advantage of his versatility. He's going to be blocking Trayvon Walker. Now, this is a hold. Trayvon Walker does not respond to the key of the tight end to his side, but this is something that really was, I think, made famous by Sean McVay and the Rams. Two tight ends, or a tight end and a fullback, motioning one across, and what you're essentially going to do with the two tight ends is double team the edge player. Trayvon Walker doesn't react to the key. He doesn't react to the first tight end at all, ends up inside. Okonkwo logs him, and it's a clear hold. It is a clear hold. He didn't have to hold for Henry to get the edge. Walker had already reached himself by his steps. You'll get the end zone. Forced fumble by Arden Key, who played amazing in this game, if you ask me. Arden Key, Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker played fantastic. Same play, end zone angle. There's Okonkwo. Motion him across. What you'll usually get when you get this formation, this motion, is a toss, an outside toss. And this edge defender will respond to the key of the tight end, which means as the tight end tries to reach him and step out, and I'll have much screen here. I got a frame that you guys can see. The edge player will go in this direction. Hopefully you guys can see that arrow. He'll go in that direction, responding to the key. The second tight end or fullback in motion will then go and block him, essentially expanding him, creating a big hole here for the toss to then cut inside of. Now, that's not the way Trayvon Walker plays it. Trayvon Walker goes inside of it. You can see he's not responded to this tight end key at all. And I think that Okonkwo needed to log it a little better, take a little bit better angle, and obviously not hold here first. And then now again with his left arm a second time. You can see Trayvon Walker is a monster. Absolute monster. 6'5", 275? There is no way you're breaking his posture like that unless you're holding. So it was an obvious hold. Still ends up being a great run by Derrick Henry. He got called back. Fantastic play by Arden Key. And I think a DB in there also forced a fumble. Look, Chig Okonkwo offers you that level of versatility in the pass game to be used as a blocker in the run game. They use him as a fullback blocking sometimes. I wanted to get out a quick video on him. I try to do as much rookie videos as possible. this year because it gets a lot of views, first of all, number one. Number two, it's interesting to be able to see the film and see what these guys do. It also offers me the opportunity to see more film than just, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, and whoever, those teams play. It offers me the chance to cheat and see film with, very little commitment. I can go and I can see what Okonkwo, what his plays were, his receptions, etc. Or if I make notes on the game, I can see, when he had a big block, or in this case, like a big touchdown. Thought he had a great season for them. Numbers don't show a fantastic season for a rookie, but I think he's a talented guy, extremely bright future, fits in the Titans. Actually, not only does he fit in the Titans culture, I think Chig Okonkwo would fit in on any team in the league. I really do. Whether it's, tight end number 2, tight end number 3, he can be fullback 1, tight end 2 at the same time. And I think that is tremendous. That is tremendous value. And some teams have picked up on that strategy already for 6, 8, 10 years, and some teams never have. The Ravens being one of them. They have a fullback and they have dedicated tight ends. Last year in the pre-draft process, Jeremy Ruckert was a guy that I talked about as a tight end / fullback hybrid. A couple other guys that I think could be used in that manner. Chig Okonkwo, if you ask me, fits that role perfectly. Let me know what you guys think of my video, what you think of some of the thoughts that I brought up here, and what you think of Chig Okonkwo's performance against the Jaguars Saturday night.